Hi everybody, we are back in Minnesota and Wisconsin after 2 months of being on the road, and I'm going to show you some little ideas that have been requested over the last 2 months, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. The first one I'm going to do is a torn garden. Taking a piece of paper, you tear it. Now paper has its own kind of direction, so you tear it the way you like it to look, and I think that one's pretty good. So I'm going to get this one out of the way. Here's my paper. And this is just kind of copy paper. I'm going to lay it down on here with the rough edge up, and then I'm going to take these little stamps to make the torn garden. We have the hay pile, the stickweed, and the sprig. I also, mine are kind of grubby, have 3 little sticks. We have a solid flower, a solid heart, and the snowflake. So, hunter green. I'm going to take the little teeny hay pile first. Not a real exciting stamp, but very, very usable. I'm going to go over the edge of my torn piece of paper. I'm blotting it off as I go, so I have light ones and dark ones. Nice little sharp, crispy lines coming up. If you want some a little taller, you can do that, and I will show you that. So right now I'm just filling it in with those little sharp crispy lines. Now if I wanted one taller, just make it taller, a little bit taller, a little different look. You can do that wherever you might like it. Now that is the hay pile. I blotted off on the wet paper towel, and that's my first line on the torn garden. Now I'm coming back with a sprig. The sprig complements the stickweed. Sharp crispy lines, very soft flowing lines. You're not going to fill the whole thing in, otherwise you're going to lose these little sharp lines. So maybe 3 places. So we'll add these nice little soft flowers. And you can blot some off. Again, that just adds dimension, a foreground and a background. So now I have 3 nice little soft flowers, and that's what we have so far. We have our 3 flowers, a little sharp one, and the edge. Coming back with a stickweed. This is kind of a unique one because it's just kind of a few little stems, but they complement, and I should put it over here so you can see it, they complement each other. So now I have stickweeds and sprigs, and we have a garden edge. We can remove this, and then how do you decorate it? This is a rainbow pad. The color is Calypso. It's an easy way for me to have all my colors right there. Real easy to get to. Solid flower, that's the solid flower. When you put one full ink, it's foreground. By blotting it, it's background. I will put that on the sprig. So we go 1, 2, blot. 1, 2, blot. You can put as many as you'd like, that's up to you. I'm going to mix the color a little bit so I have a tone going. So now we have kind of a bluish color next to that. I keep the top part of my rainbow pad for the main color, and I mix the bottom, which gives me a real big variety of color. So now we have some more over here. We have our little flowers. Blot it off on your wet paper towel. I'm going to go to a snowflake. And yes, it is a snowflake. Looks like that, and you put it around Christmas things, it's a snowflake. But on this particular thing, I'm going to put it over here, put it down, and then I'm going to bounce it around, making a little puff ball. Kind of those little dandelion flowers that blow in the wind or something. Again, one color at the moment, but I am going to alternate the color with a little blue just to create a variety. So I'm going with a little blue. So we have another little bit of a color, a little puff ball that's a little bit different in the hue or the tone. And then I'm going to push it just straight. So we got 1, that's just straight. 2, 3. Now we have an assortment of different flowers in here. And that is the snowflake. The last one that I'd like to use is a little solid heart, the one that's even on both sides. So I will take it and go 1, 2, 3, and then up here I'll go 1. Whoa! We're going to have one that's a little different color than I expected. Now I'll go back and get a lighter color. How about a lighter color over here? Okay, if I had a pen, which I do, I'm looking for it, I put a little line on here, feelers, a line, feelers, a line, feelers. Over here we put a little nose, feelers, a little line, and then a couple dots. And I'll put a little nose, a line, and a couple dots. Now, you're going to add activity. By doing that, you're just going to take your same fine line pen and make some dots that make it look like they've flown or they've walked from someplace else. You can put your message, went to the park, enjoyed lunch, had a good time with grandma, things like that. And you can use this in your scrapbooks, or you can make it a little smaller and you can make it into a card. And this is the torn garden.